Reet then, lads and lasses, how we're doing, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a lovely day. It's the weekend, you should be having a lovely day, and if you're not, go and do something fantastic with your family. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Geordie Josh channel, and welcome back for 5pm news. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I know you're seeing this YouTube video now. Obviously, that was a pretty stupid thing to say, but the point I'm trying to make is, I've already recorded about 2 or 3 videos on Giorgio Scalvini today, to Newcastle United, but as I've just finished recording the last one, edited it and published it to YouTube and everything, ready for a 5pm schedule, some more news about Giorgio Scalvini to Newcastle United has came out by Fabrizio Romano, claiming that Newcastle United have made an approach to Atalanta for the 21-year-old Italian international. I think I've made it very clear whenever we have spoke about the 6'5" giant on this very YouTube channel that I absolutely adore him, and I bloody do. So no messing about. Without further ado, if you do enjoy the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new for all Newcastle United content, and get them notification bells turned on as well. See, the very first to the video, you get the news in the actual segment that news is meant to be kind of considered in news. You want it as fast as possible, so don't do it to yourself, get here as quick as you can. Without further ado, let's get into it. Firstly, before the Fabrizio Romano news, which is obviously one of the most reliable journalists, most credible, trustworthy, well-known journalists on the planet, so it is very credible news, we've also got some news from Matteo Moretto, who is a Spanish journalist, but is also, just like Fabrizio Romano, very credible, very trustworthy, and has been around the game for a long time. Actually, he knew about Sandro Tonali and Alexander Isak to sign for Newcastle United before anyone else did. Also, the interest in Scalvini has been buffed up by the English media in the recent days, but Matteo Moretto, via his YouTube channel, of course this is dubbed in English captions because he's Spanish, Shalcora, he has said Newcastle remain the most interested team out of anyone in the situation of Giorgio Scalvini. Newcastle, yet again he's repeated himself, are seriously interested in Scalvini and are evaluating whether to make an official offer in the coming days. He also, quite cheekily, responded to a comment or a post on social media on Twitter, putting the eye emojis on the English media's sort of article about Giorgio Scalvini to Newcastle United, teasing Newcastle fans, letting us know that something is there. Also, he went one step further. A Newcastle United fan page, a very good mate of mine, kind of reiterated what Matteo Moretto said on Twitter. He then reposted that. That post that he reposted was from quite a while ago, so he's coming back to this news, showing Newcastle fans that something is developing here. It doesn't sound too bad to me, ladies and gentlemen, but what Fabrizio Romano exactly said on his Twitter page this morning, also his YouTube channel, but we will take a look at what he said on the platform X. It's this: Newcastle have made an initial approach to Atalanta to potentially sign Giorgio Scalvini. The defender is one of the main names on Newcastle's shortlist this summer, but as it seems the case with anyone Newcastle United want to potentially sign, other clubs are keen on the 21-year-old, and as there probably should be as well, regardless of that ACL injury, which is quite a big thing to say regardless too. Of course, we bit the bullet with Tino Livramento, and that's worked out fine. Ever since Tino's been at the club, he's not really had many bad injury issues, has he? Yes, of course, he's had his times where he's been out for months, weeks. He is a footballer in a very demanding system from Eddie Howe. We are going to get injuries. We've seen it with Sven Botman, whilst he's been at the club, of course. But I don't think we should be put off by that. Undoubtedly, there's no kind of beating around the bush here. It is a very something we need to be wary about. But if Atalanta are willing to sell him when they are renowned for being a hard board to deal with, of course he is one of their own, an Italian player, I don't think that Newcastle United are doing anything stupid by going for Giorgio Scalvini here. Of course, the English media said that he was valued at £30 million, whether that's by Newcastle, Atalanta or anyone, but if he is there for £30 million, I've not had any experience in being a sporting director, but I would pay that £30 million. We all know that we've kind of spoke about Giorgio Scalvini and his player profile. He's 6'5", an absolute giant. He's going to give Dan Burn a good run for his money. Probably not. Dan Burn's in a league of his own with the height caliber stuff, isn't he? But he's very versatile, like we said, left back, right back, back three, back four, even centre defensive midfield, ball playing defender, and he's of course right footed. If we're talking about success as for Fabian Schär, ladies and gentlemen, a ball playing defender, it doesn't get any more perfect than that, does it? In one of the obvious things, which I guess Newcastle United, of course with Anthony Elanga, that is a big exception, even João Pedro, Brian and Burmo, we seem to be looking in the Premier League quite a lot actually now. I'm realising that. Liam Delap, Mateus Cunha, the list goes on, but £30 million for a player who I believe is absolutely worth that. Yes, of course, ACL injury, we know, but I think that the overseas market is second to none in any of the top 5 leagues or elsewhere in Europe, in the world, compared to the Premier League. It is just so inflated and so overpriced, and that's not the Premier League team's fault, of course. They don't want to sell to a Premier League team. In Nottingham Forest case, a direct rival, Champions League, Conference League. Can they cope with that next season? We do not know, but it's just a market that's not very... what's the word? It's not very ideal for Newcastle United. We don't need to be overpaying for players, especially in this financial fair play and PSR world. Something I also wanted to pick up on, why Giorgio Scalvini may be open to a move to Newcastle United, of course. Don't see why not. I mean, he would probably play week in, week out with Fabian Schär, maybe getting pushed out just with getting aging. Of course, we're playing in the Champions League, but he said something 2 years ago after being asked by an interviewer in 2023 when the interviewer said, would you be open to a Premier League move? At that time, Giorgio would have been 19 years old, an absolute wonder kid playing at that Atalanta side. I think he would have also made some Champions League appearances by that age. Incredible player. He replied to this with that Premier League comment: for me, it's the best league there is with the intensity. Once in my career, I don't even know when, I'd like to play there. Don't you worry, big lad. If you want to play in the Premier League, never mind Aston Villa or any other of these interested clubs, Man City, whoever it may be, because he's a very great player and these clubs, top clubs, will be interested in him. If you want to play in the Premier League, son, Newcastle United can make that dream happen. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. You let me know down below, would you have Giorgio Scalvini at Newcastle United? I can only guess that this story will develop more, get more serious, more interest, and all that sort of stuff in the coming days. But just to make it clear, no official bid, no agreement with any club or player has been met. It's just that little comment on Scalvini in 2023 there. And of course, Newcastle United have, this is confirmed by Fabrizio Romano and Matteo Moretto, made an approach to Atalanta to potentially sign Giorgio Scalvini. I mean, they're not going to make that approach to sign Lobotka from Napoli, are they? There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you did enjoy the video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new for all Newcastle United content. I'm glad I could bring you this little update today, and I'm glad I did because I love this player and I love giving you updates. I've been Geordie Josh. Go and enjoy your day, people.